Hello everyone. It's Bronnie here again for another day in Bronnie's World, and we're up to day 1019, and it's Mindset Monday here in Bronnie's World. And today I have brought on one of my dear friends. She actually lives down in Werribee, where I spent 10 years. My family and I, my husband and kids, spent 10 years in the 90s, and I hear it's changed a lot since then. But anyway, that's not why I brought Coach Kylie, as she calls herself, or Coach Kai is what she calls herself, on with me today. It's because we have a bit of a kindred spirit, and she has, I believe, an amazing story, and I wanted her to share that with all of you. So with no further ado, I'm going to hand the floor over to Kylie, and she's going to share with you her story and what has, from where she's been and what has brought her to where she is today. Take it away, Kylie. It's all yours.
Exciting. I'm so excited to be here. I'm literally in Bronnie's world right now. So like that's super exciting. I think my kids are just gonna, I don't know if they're gonna understand. Like I was actually in Bronnie's world today. Proper. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak today, Bronnie.
It's better than the Wizard of Oz world, isn't it?
I know. Oh, man, although I wouldn't mind those shoes.
No, me either.
Look, thank you. And it's your Mindset Monday you've invited me to speak on. So
yes, because you really are good with the mindset.
Well, I hope so. And I hope that I might be able to leave you and your viewers with a few little, I don't know, things that I've gleaned over the years, and I don't know, just little tactics, I guess, that have helped me to get to where I am today. Because Bronnie and I actually, as she said, we somewhat kindred spirits because we have a lot of things in common that we've had to journey through together, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Look,
not just living in Werribee either.
No, but that is ironic. However,
it is ironic.
So Bronnie and I both have dealt with and continue to, I guess, deal with chronic illness. We both have fibromyalgia. Mm-hmm. And we've struggled with things like that for a very long time. I think, Bronnie, how long has it been for you?
Oh, since my teens.
Yeah. So I was diagnosed about almost 10 years ago, but I was sick before then. And I had chronic IBS from the time I was 17. So to the point, debilitating, couldn't leave the house. I look back now and probably understand that I had fibromyalgia, I would think probably nearly all my life. But I was only
that's what my pain specialist worked out as well.
Yeah. So it's quite, working backwards can be really helpful once you have some knowledge. And so I look back and I see symptomatic stuff, things that used to drive my mum crazy, like she couldn't help me, she didn't know what was going on. But now, again, like working backwards, I look at my diet, I look at all these things, how I was raised, and all of these things that all of a sudden, pennies dropping left, right, and center. And the fibro, when that hit, I'm just going to quickly touch on this because I think if you know Bronnie, you sort of know what fibro is, but I just woke up literally one morning and I couldn't move my hand. My hand was in a claw, and gradually over a few months that I just thought I'd slept on it wrong, but it gradually went up my arm and then it went through my entire body. So within 3 months, I couldn't lift up my children. So my children were very young at the time. Bethany's only 10 now. So she was probably about 6 months old when it really hit. I couldn't put her in a cot. I couldn't drive the car. I couldn't brush my hair. I couldn't shower because it would be too fatiguing. All of these things. I have to cough. Please excuse me.
That's all right.
Sorry. Okay. So it was a life-altering illness. So I knew I'd been sick before, but it was the fibro that just knocked me out. And I've played state netball. I've always been athletic. I've always, done sport. I played cricket, volleyball, beach volley, just pretty much anything. I was always so athletic. And
if
then I
it's
got
come
sick.
around, you're just gonna go out there and play it, right, Kylie?
Well, we'll see. But do you know what? I think losing it's a strong word to say, but I lost my life. I lost everything. Luckily, I had an incredibly supportive husband, and the kid. Well, my eldest is now 26, but he understood, like, you could manage, because I had a community around me, I guess, just my family. But it was very difficult because we didn't know what was going on. So, in a nutshell, the worst was can't drive, can't pick up my children, all of those things that I just said. So that's not really a life anymore, is it? And I was put on a bunch of big pharma medication. I put on over 30 kilos. The medication also turned me, I had chronic fatigue syndrome as well, so CFS, and I was diagnosed with that, even though fibro, you have chronic fatigue anyway, don't you, Bronnie? Like, yeah. So it was like, what do? You can't deal with the pain, so you take medication, and the medication makes you more tired, which you can't even fathom. How could you possibly be more tired? But you are, because it's a different zombie tired. And then you put on weight, so then my body's heavier, which causes more pain and restrictive motion of my body. So it was this cycle of just a nightmare. Look,
and
it wasn't
very depressing. Very depressing medications.
It was truly, if I really, sorry, I get a bit upset about it, but if I go back to that time in my mind, it's heartbreaking, because not only did the illness affect me, the medication just made it so much worse. So I came to this point where I went, I can't. I said to my husband, Richard, I can't do it. I would rather live with the illness and see where that goes than trying to fix it. I can't fix it anymore. It was actually making me just lose my shiz. I couldn't do it. So that was probably about 3 years in. Crazy to think that I lived in that place for so long. So I want to share something with you that I had to think about it, and I had to think about my journey from that moment of me going, I can't anymore. So I have come up with this, I think, quite fabulous acronym. All right. I had to write it backwards. Excuse it being a bit weird. So HEAL. All right. And I hope that you'll take away something today about not only my journey, but how I've now, I mean, look at me now, right? I'm actually more me than I was like when I was 18. Like, I feel better, and I've gone through all this, right? So
you can have a drink of water if you need.
I'm going to have my cold tea.
Yeah. We won't go there why I don't have an open cup in my
no. Bronnie has a story to tell.
My laptop needs to be kept safe.
Thankfully, her laptop is still working, so there's that. So let's have a look. Let's pull this apart. Our HEAL. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you have a chronic illness or not, or you have disease in your body, you're unwell. I think that this little journey might be helpful for you. So let's start with H. And H for me was health. I didn't have it. I didn't have it at all. And to go from a very strong woman physically to having no core, no muscle mass, because I couldn't do anything, So I think the first step for me, and when I sort of reached out to my husband, was, I have to know what my body feels like without the medication. So I'm not sure if that rings true with you.
Yep.
Yeah. Because all of a sudden I just didn't know what was actually wrong anymore. Like, is it the medication? Is it this? And we had to be very smart about it because I was on very strong drugs, a lot of them, and very high levels. So we had to wean off. And in that time, we actually, I say we because it's my husband and I, of course, I tried a sort of a drug in between. So I stepped down onto a drug called LDN, which allowed me to wean off everything. And then once the LDN was working, and that was great, and then I weaned off that. So, and all of a sudden I could feel, and I knew what I was actually dealing with. And all of a sudden everything was real, and I was still really incredibly overweight. But all of a sudden, it's like I had permission to go, okay, what do I do with my body now? Now it's mine again. It's mine again.
Yeah.
So the H for health is, I think, finding where are you actually at, the health evaluation, that Bronnie and I'm a certified health coach, same as Bron, and offering the health evaluation, I think just is like a first step too that you could use. I wish I had that back then.
Oh, me too, right?
I know. So just little things like that can help, right? So I think just the excuse me, the H for health is just the understanding, where are you actually at? Where is your health at? And then you can go on to the next step, and that is my E. Okay, and my E is for education. Oh, yep.
I was to say the health evaluation.
Yeah.
The health evaluation actually is a great start, isn't it?
Yeah.
Finding out where your health actually is, and it's then gives you a starting point.
And it's measurable. It's measurable because you can do that, because you can do another health evaluation tomorrow, or in 3 months, or in a year, or when you can reassess. And I think that being able to measure is a real blessing with the health evaluation.
You're right. I wish I'd had that way back.
I know. When I did my first one, which is probably over 2 years ago now, I think I was minus 80. And for anyone who hasn't done a health evaluation, the goal is to be 100, like in in the black. I was in the red, minus 80. And now, actually, I haven't done one for a while. I must do one again. But I think the last one I did, I was plus. So in the black again, 40.
Are you getting up there, Kylie?
I'm getting, and that's a big thing for me. So, but that was months ago that I did my last one. So I'd be very interested to see what it would be now. But yeah, so do speak to Bronnie if you want to do a health evaluation. So E.
Or if you know Kylie, if you're Kylie's friend, you talk.
Of course, yes. If you're one of my clients or one of my people, then by all means contact me for a health eval. All right, so I've done H. Remember, our word is heal. Yep. So E is for education. Now, so once I realized what was going on and what I really felt like without medication, I had to learn. I had to educate myself on health. Like, how do I make myself better? Because I couldn't fathom living like that for the rest of my life. So education for me was incredibly important. Luckily, at that time, I was starting to be introduced into a business that, not that I knew it at the time, but was going to end up being a health journey for me. So I was very blessed that it had worked that way. It was just, it was truly, I know I say blessed, but it really was. It was a gift. And but I didn't know it at the time. And so I was figuring things out for myself and learning about, okay, well, it makes my tummy so sore all the time. Why can I not leave the house? Because I can't be away from a toilet, and all of these things that were just keeping me trapped. So I educated myself, and that was the start of my journey. Now I continue now to educate. I became a certified holistic health coach, as Bronnie did. So that's my certification up there, but I have done other things as well. I became a diet nutrition advisor. I just continue to study and I continue to learn. I'm doing a diploma of naturopathy at the moment because I'm not happy until I want my body to be the best it can be for the longest it can be. And I want to see my grandkids get married, you know, and I want that for everybody as well. I'm very passionate.
You haven't got any yet, just so our viewers know, she hasn't got grandchildren yet.
I don't have, although like I said, my son is 26, but no, not that I'm aware of anyway. Oh golly. No, so but I want that. I want that for my life, and I want to be mobile. And you know, my husband and I were joking the other day about you know, having to wear adult diapers and stuff, like going, well, so you know, that's something to look forward to, isn't it, honey? Like, you know, I'm like going, well, in the back of my mind, I'm like going, you know, that's not going to happen for ages now because I'm just so well, you know. So education, and I would like to say continuing educate yourself, educate others, you know, and that's the beauty of the holistic health course, health coach course, because then you can do that as well. And I'm so grateful for it. It really changed everything for me. It really did. And I think Bronnie can probably testify.
And it doesn't stop with your certification. There's
no, it does
ongoing
not.
education, which is something no other institute offers.
No, it continues. There's weekly calls.
No extra cost either.
I beg your pardon?
And no extra cost. So you're not paying for another course.
It's just open. You do it and you're there for life, you know, and it's not a life sentence, it's a life just journey. It's incredible. So Paul Croto and Cheryl Morley, who created the program and stuff, like so supportive too. So just say that. Anyway, I'll just keep wrapping on. We'll move on.
You could always talk about the education forever.
I know, I really could. So we've gone H, E, and now we're on A, and that is action. So it's one thing to learn, but if you don't put that into action, then really it's just up here, isn't it? You know, you have to take the step. So for me personally, once I started learning about health, so then I needed to know like what my body needed, minerals, vitamins, amino acids, like what do I need? What do I need to function? Like my joints hurt. It was like I had arthritis at the start before I was diagnosed with fibro, because it just didn't, but I had no inflammation. It was not coming out, but everything was swollen. I'm like, how does this even make sense? You know, no inflammation. Okay. Everything's swollen. So I still can't understand that. And I will argue and disagree with that until the cows come home, because I was inflamed. So we're talking about action. So you don't have to agree with everything that you hear sometimes, but for me personally, going, that doesn't sound right to me. So educate. So I would learn. And then what do I do next? What can I put into action to make this work? And it's trial and error, I guess, as well. I found things that helped me greatly, found things that were good and can get rid of, you know. So it's a learning process, I guess. So you exactly, like education, and then put that into action. And that's our A in heal. All right. Now the last one is L. I don't know which way. I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, you get the the vibe of what I'm trying to say. L is for live. And this is where it all comes together, you know. So we've had health, education, and then action, and then live. Because once you do all of those steps, all of a sudden you have the opportunity to see life a different way. And again, this is my personal journey of, you know, how I've gotten to this point. So 10 years after being debilitated and not being able to care for myself or my children, to being here. I was just, Bronnie and I were chatting. We chat long and hard. is what we do whenever we get on a call. So we've been on the phone for like an hour before this call, so don't even worry. But I was just explaining to Bronwyn that, you know, for the last 2 weeks, I've been renovating like bedrooms. I've sanded walls. I've then washed the walls with my Nature Direct. It smells so beautiful, but it proper cleans everything so I could paint them. Did that. We lifted carpet. I've put rugs down. I've, you know, done cutting in and coats of paint, and I'm tired, but who wouldn't be?
But it's a good tide. It's a different tide.
It's a worthy tide.
Yeah.
You know, Bronwyn, you just hit the nail on the head there. And I actually say this to Rich often, you know, those days that you feel like I deserve this time. When you've got fibro or CFS or anything like that, or you just unwell, your body's not functioning, you've got bad gut health, you're lethargic and tired, and it's not fair.
No, and it's constant.
It's constant, and there's nothing that you can do. It doesn't matter how well you sleep. It's not going to change. But earning your tiredness, there's a lot of joy in that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think when it comes to our L and it comes to live, and I get excited to say, you know, oh my gosh, my daughter just moved into a new bedroom, you know, and I did that. Hubby helped a little bit every now and then, but but generally it was me. And I just, when we look at the acronym HEAL, it really is that journey, you know, and then the joy of it is having the L at the end, and that is the live. And you get to, like, what a great way to wrap it all up and look towards the future, you know, because now there is a future.
What comes with living is love, because you learn to love to live. Whereas when you're so sick as we've been, you don't want to live, and you don't feel like loving either.
No, well, you don't love yourself.
No.
You know, and you can't love and you can't live if you don't love yourself first. And it's hard to love when you feel like you're letting people down, and you feel like you're not the person that you know that you were or you could be, or it's all when it's snatched away from you. I think that's, I think learning to love yourself again and forgive yourself. Yeah, I used to be so sad that I couldn't do things for my kids and what they missed out on for nearly 10 years. Like, oh, well, it wasn't probably because I started getting better, but say at least 7 years. And you know, I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that for them. Oh, let's go. I'd love to go to the Melbourne show. I'd love to go to Luna Park, or I can't do it. Couldn't walk. I used to have a walking frame. I kid you not. I couldn't go to the supermarket without a walking frame. Then I moved to a walking stick. I'm 47. You know, so when this started, I was 37 with a walking frame. It's mind-blowing. And people would ask, like, why? Because I was well, and then I wasn't. Sorry, I keep banging on about it, but I think I'm just so joyous with the outcome. And so I just really want you to see, like, to go and move through that journey, you know. And without where I am now, and the that I touched on earlier, Bron, was you know, I was working for a business that I started to learn about health, and I learned about supplementation and what that means for your body. I'd never had anything like that before. I'd never had the knowledge of it. So all of a sudden that started unpacking. And now I just feel like not only do I have my health, I have my joy back. I have a beautiful business that I love and just enjoy every moment of. And I have my future.
And you have friends like me.
Yay!
The icing on the cake, girl.
Oh, look, you know what? It has been an incredible journey, and becoming the friends, like the proper friends, even though we're so far away, because you're in Taree, you know, I'm down here in Melbourne and Werribee, but look at us, and here we are together. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that I just hold so dearly, that not only have we come to this point, but look who I get to carry along beside me.
But and our community is not just Australia wide, it's worldwide.
Yeah.
And that is just such a blessing, isn't it?
And the support, I think that's what you just said then, the support. You know, we mentioned Paul and Cheryl earlier, and so many people that have been here and speaking. I'm so honoured actually to be amongst them. I was like, oh, me? You want me to talk? Okay. But the lead up to this 1019, I think you said it was.
Yes, 1019 today.
Wow, that's just incredible. You know, it's just such an honour to be amongst such beautiful company and such supportive company and leaders. And wow, you're doing so great, Bronnie. Well done.
Oh, thank you. Because, you spoke about Paul and Cheryl and a few of the other guests that I've had on. You know something, Kylie? The reason that I asked you and others who are maybe not quite in the league of Paul and Cheryl, I mean, gosh, they're right at the top, is because even they started where we started.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show it doesn't matter where you are in this ladder. We all have a story. We all have a starting point. And not one of them can, say, well, they didn't go from nothing to high up.
No.
Just like that. It didn't happen like that. It took time. It took years. I mean,
Cheryl, it was 25 years or 25 something.
Well, she's number one.
Mm.
Her ID is number one.
Oh, I did not know that.
She's there. She used to go everywhere. So.
Oh, that's fabulous.
So, it's sort of kind of, it just, she started as a Taco Bell girl.
Yeah, yeah.
So it matters not where we are. So, I'm just so grateful for you, Kylie, and that you took your time out of your day, even though your chair's sinking and you're disappearing under the table.
gradually. That's nobody else knows that the hydraulics in my chair are going.
Well, they do now.
They do now. But now, so if you just notice me slowly sinking out of shot, you'll know why.
Yeah. So for Mindset Monday, if you put all those things that Kylie tells us, put in the acronym of HEAL, it's got to help your mindset, right, Kylie? So if you could give people just one tip for Mindset Monday, what would you say?
What? Sorry, did you say?
Oh, you're supposed to listen.
I'm trying. I was too busy going like this with paper.
Instead, if you could give our viewers just one tip for Mindset Monday, after all that you've done, what would you, to wrap it up in one nutshell, what would the advice you'd give that?
All right, I love this. Great question. 3 H's. And this is basically the way I run my business too. Health, healing, but with humour.
Oh, yes. I love it all.
You have to do it with a smile on your face, and even if you don't feel it, smile anyway.
Yes, because, it's, laughter, smiling is the best medicine in the world.
It is.
Look, it takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown. So turn your frown upside down, guys. So, well, look, Kylie, I thank you very much for your time today.
You're so welcome.
And it's been a ball.
We always have a lot of fun, don't we?
But anyway, well, hopefully Kylie will come back again another day and share a little bit more of her insights with us, but down the track a little bit. But anyway, good, thank you. Anyway, but as I say here in Bronnie's World, I ask you all really nicely to stay safe, stay informed, be empowered, but do not live in fear, my friends. And when you take Kylie's acronym, HEAL, HEAL, you, my friends, will become powerful, beautiful, brilliant, and most definitely very brave. And you'll be able to do anything. If Kylie and I can do this, you can too. Well, God bless you all. And we'll catch you again another day here in Bronnie's World. Bye for now.
Thanks for having me.